Welcome to my presentation. In this presentation, we shall see how to multiply fractions. So let us say we want to multiply the following fractions. Multiply -2/5, this is one fraction, times there's another fraction -3/8, and there is another fraction -10/21, like that. So in this case, we'll break it down into these different steps. We will solve one step at a time. Multiply the signs first. So we have three negative signs: negative times negative times negative. Negative times negative is a positive. Positive times a negative is a positive. So the final positive times negative is a negative. So this is going to be a negative value. Therefore, our final answer is going to be a negative value. In step number 2, we're going to multiply the numbers, multiply all the fractions together. So 2/5 times 3/8 times 10/21 is what we have. We multiply the numerators, multiply the denominators. We can write it as follows: 2 times 3 times 10 divided by 5 times 8 times 21. So there is a simple way to simplify. There is an easy way to simplify these types of fractions. So what we do is we look for numbers in the numerator and look for numbers in the denominator which are multiples of one another, and then we can simplify it in that manner. So we'll start with 2. We have a 2 in the numerator, 8 in the denominator. 8 is the multiples of 2, so 2 times 1 is 2, 2 times 4 is 8. Then we'll go to the second number. We have a 3 in the numerator, 21 in the denominator, so 21 is a multiples of 3. 3 times 1 is 3, 3 times 7 is 21. So we have a 10 in the numerator, we have a 5 in the denominator. 10 is a multiples of 5, so therefore 5 times 1 is 5, 5 times 2 is 10. So when we put all of these together, we are left with 1 times 2 divided by 1 times 4 times 7. So 1 times 1 is 1, 1 times 2 is 2, that is in the numerator. 1 times 4 is 4, 4 times 7 is 28. So we could have done a little bit more here, but we can come back here and then say 28 is a multiples of 2. So therefore 2 times 1 is 2, 2 times 1 is 2, 2 times 4 is 8. Therefore we are left with 1/14 here, and therefore as a third step we're going to put the sign, we're going to attach the sign for this fraction which we've arrived at. So negative times negative 2/5 times negative 3/8 times negative 10/21 is going to be equal to -1/14, and that is the simplified form of multiplying these three fractions. That's the simplified form. Let's take another example. In this example, we're going to see we want to calculate an exponent like this. 4/5, this fraction is raised to the power of 2. So we will try to understand how to simplify these types of fractions. So 4/5 is a fraction, and this fraction is raised to the power of 2. It is in the form of an exponent, and the way we want to expand these types of problems are as follows. The base term is 4/5, and the exponential term is 2. The way we expand exponents are as follows. We're going to look at the base term, we're going to identify the base term, we're going to identify the exponential term, and the way the rule is telling us the number of times the base term needs to be repeated is given to us in the exponential term. Therefore, we're going to write it out as 4 over 5 times 4 over 5. Since the base term is repeated 2 times, we're going to write it out in this manner. And therefore, now we're going to multiply the numerators, multiply the denominators, and then simplify it. 4 times 4 is 16. That is what we have in the numerator. 5 times 5 is 25, and that is what we have in the denominator. So therefore, 16 over 25 is our answer. That is where we want to leave it. So 4 over 5 raised to the power of 2 can be expanded as 16 over 25. Let's look at another example here. In this example, we're going to multiply a whole number. What if we want to multiply a whole number with a fraction? Multiply a number 4, which is a whole number, times a fraction, 5 over 9, like that. So in here, we're going to write the first step as, we can always express a whole number as a fraction by dividing it by 1. Then we can then come back and then say the 4 is in the numerator, the 1 is in the denominator. When we divide any number by 1, it is not going to change the properties of that particular number. So it is going to still remain as 4, but we can always express a whole number as a fraction in this format. So times 5 over 9. So now we're going to expand. We're going to multiply the numerator parts. 4 times 5 divided by 1 times 9. 4 times 5 is 20, and then 1 times 9 is 9. And this is a fraction, and when the numerator value is less than the denominator value, the numerator value is greater than the denominator value, and therefore we call these types of fractions as improper fractions. Improper fractions. And we can always convert these improper fractions into mixed numbers as follows. 20 over 9 is what we have, and this is an improper fraction. We're going to write this one out as a mixed number. So we take 20 and then divide it by 9. So 9 times 1 is 9. So let's recall our 9 times table. 9 times 2 is 18. 9 times 3 is 27. So we cannot use 3, we can use 2. So 9 times what number is equal to or less than 20? 9 times 2 is 18, and therefore we're going to subtract 18 from 20, and we're left with 2. So therefore 20 divided by 9, an improper fraction like that, can be expressed as 2 over 9 as a mixed number. So in here, 2 is the whole number part of it, and this is the, let me write here, this is the whole number part of the mixed number, and this is the fraction part. This is the fraction part of the whole number. So a whole number will always have two parts to it, a whole number part to it and a fraction part to it, and therefore an improper fraction can be expressed as a mixed number as shown here. In my next presentation, we shall see more of how to multiply fractions.